a hub of the slave trade. So you had many different peoples from Africa coming in. And then you also had Spanish and French, European influences. The songs are arranged quite often in a European form, where the rhythms are borrowing from all the different African influences that are in Cuban music. And it really is used just for enjoyment. It's a party in a box, basically. You don't really even need the instruments that we're playing today. They play them on overturned dresser drawers, cigar boxes with spoons, and so it's not necessarily specifically about the instruments, it's about the combination of those rhythms and how it all comes together. This music is a form that you really need to have other people to play with. In this area, there aren't too many people who know of the form, let alone know how to play it. So I started this up so I could pass on what I know and just have some other people to play with.
So in 19, I started playing like drums and a little bit of guitar, and then just kind of fell off for 10 or so years, you know, life, kids, stuff like that. And then just started picking it up about a year and a half ago. I've been taking private lessons with Ed Brann, and I know he comes here and he mentioned it. I decided to pop in and give it a try, and it was great. For me, it's totally different. You know, I wasn't a huge into like the drum kit, you know what I mean? I didn't count. I just kind of felt the beat, you know, something like that. But here it's like a lot of counting and feeling the beat. It's mind-blowing, actually. Hard to put into words. It's like talking through music.
Basic conversation going between the large drum, the lowest drum, and the middle drum. Well, I found that I like to teach it. I get a lot of joy out of sharing it with folks. But it also helps me, not just from a student standpoint, trying to play it, but also to try and explain it to somebody who doesn't have an understanding of it. Forces me really to break it down into components that I'm not even considering when I'm studying it myself. You woodshed at home, you figure out how to play your instrument, you learn some technique and some licks and some things to play. The next step with that is to go out and start playing with other people. And that communication that goes on, that's the treat, you know, at the end of the hard work. When you're playing with somebody and you get a sense for where they're going, it's very subtle, it's almost an intuitive level understanding of where everyone is going together. So you stop playing what you're playing, and everyone is playing the entire piece. We were talking earlier today about this is the basic form, and then you're allowed to start bringing in variations. So there's some rules to it, but you get to choose what variation and when you decide to play it. So that's when it opens up and becomes personal for everybody. So now you're playing off of everybody, and everyone is connecting in that way. So it really becomes a real-time conversation. Quickly you can change the feel, the sound of the rhythm just by adding one note where somebody else isn't playing it. So now you become two people playing one rhythm. You birth the rhythm together. Picked this up probably 25 to 30 years ago playing hand drums. To be honest, I really didn't know what I was doing, kind of winging it for a long time. And then I dug in and started getting new material and new ideas. I took 2 trips to Havana, and it was 5-6 years ago, and I'm still digesting what I learned there. I'm able to play the form, I'm able to play around within the form. But when you hear the Cubans play this and the level that they take it to, the subtle levels that they take it to, I will forever be a student. Cubans have this knack for choosing very interesting points in time. Dun, 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 dun. Well, that dun, which grabs your hip and moves your hip for you, that they call that the bombo note. So it just has that effect on you when you place these downbeats and then throw an upbeat in there. Yeah, your body responds to it.
Like I said, my first time here, I came here, I felt comfortable right away. Nobody's judging. You're just free to be yourself, you know. I kind of like it. Playing with different people is great, you know. It's just, they have their flavor, I have my flavor. We're all just blending together like one little happy family.
Everybody that I've played music with has become important to me. They're all amazing people to begin with because they're on a similar path. Doesn't matter what instrument they're playing, if you have that level of communication, that subtle level of communication with somebody, you connect on levels that you may not even if you have a regular conversation with somebody. So if you do that over time, they become family. Just to get a feeling for playing off of somebody else, it doesn't have to be complicated. It can be doom, da, doom, da. Once you feel that, you realize that it is within you. You are capable of doing that. I teach these rhythms to folks who don't even own a drum. They maybe even never touched a drum. And we're not digging into technique and doing a lesson necessarily, but we're able to birth that rhythm. We're able to get it up off the ground. It might be a simplified form, but it is still going to give that experience of communicating with somebody else. Hearing your note in context of somebody else's note over and over and over, and keeping that consistent, and then you kind of let go, and the conversation becomes what everybody brings to it, and that is very accessible.